It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast. With Steve.
Sorry, Beard Father, I spoke out of turn there.
Luca Brazzi sleeps with the fishes. Then you might sleep there too.
I allowed my unshaven idiot self to take over. I can only apologize, Beard Father.
Horse head in your bed.
And Kyle.
Would you listen to a live parade podcast? Big one for us. Oh boy. 81% of the audience said no.
That kind of makes the last half hour of conversation about parade podcast.
Should we just ditch it?
Kind of pointless.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
I don't know that there's ever been a poll result that I've been more disappointed in. Like, we're excited about that.
It was legitimately shocking.
Yeah.
That came back. But I'm eased at least a touch, Steve, in the idea that those obviously are posted, not in jest, but those are posted with intent, being there's no context.
Yeah, no context
You don't
at all.
know why that or what that means. So in my brain, I'm racking the idea of what could people be interpreting the idea of a parade cast being. And I'm thinking they really just don't want to listen to us.
I know, because even in the worst case scenario, it's still extra content from your
Yes.
friends Steve and Kyle.
Yeah.
But
Important to say.
apparently it is not what the audience wants. The audience says, no.
Hard pass today.
Once an hour, more than enough. Or once a week, more than enough.
I am confident saying we're going to go ahead and just steamroll
We're doing it
the
anyway.
majority of the audience here.
Doing it anyway.
And we're going to move our way into that just against everybody apparently caring about
Look, if I'm putting all this work in to get the Comanche roadworthy, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Another roadblock this week, by the way, on the old Comanche project.
On the Manchi.
Yeah. Called another glass company out to put the rear window in. Turns out they concurred with the first glass company.
So it's the wrong size.
I don't think so.
Oh, hang on. So you know two glass companies telling you this is the wrong size, and your response to me is, I think they're both wrong.
Yeah, because according to the Comanche Club,
Okay.
they were both trying to install it the incorrect way. There's apparently another way to do it that
So you need a non-idiot glassman.
that neither of these glass companies know. On the bright side, I haven't gotten an invoice from either one of them.
Good.
So,
Well, they couldn't do the job, so they looked at it, told you this doesn't work.
yeah.
Have you taken my idea of possibly shaving it down in the corners where it needs to be and, kind of installing it yourself?
Well, I did make a trip last night to the hardware store, picked up
Okay.
product by the company 3M. It's called Window Weld.
Okay.
It's like a urethane that you use to glue windows in.
So not a glass cutter, but
I'm doing it myself. It's going to happen. So that's on the agenda for today, hopefully.
in the real spirit of the Comanche.
Yeah.
You're gonna
DIY.
go ahead and do it yourself.
Yeah. I'm at least going to try.
That is, it seems like there's roadblock after roadblock with this, and now you're quite literally spitting in the face of glass professionals, saying you're all wrong because a bunch of weirdos on a message board are saying they're wrong.
I trust the weirdos on the message board.
Well, they are the dedicated.
They're the authority.
Have you
trust 'em.
considered bringing one of those goons out here?
No, I don't want people coming to my house. So, no. And if I could drive the vehicle somewhere, I mean, I guess I could. I could drive. I'm going to have my seat back relatively soon. I got pictures last week of the progress that's being made on the seat.
Okay.
Looks awesome.
Just one or?
It's a bench seat.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense. In my mind,
Just gonna have one seat.
in my mind, you're going, Just like an airplane. One seat there in the front.
Yeah. What do I need two for? If somebody wants to sit there, they get the seat reupholstered.
If somebody wants to sit next to me, I'll give them the bucket I've used to test drive.
I'm excited, though. I can't wait. Can't wait to start seeing it start to come back together.
We are still looking for a rapist.
A rapist, yeah. I know that there's somebody out there that
there has to be someone in the
does
vinyl game.
Automotive raps.
Yeah, the vinyl game.
And again,
whatever.
I'm not looking for it for free or anything.
Right.
I need some direction.
Yep. We're just looking for, even if it's not a full wrap, just something that we can put a large form of our logo on.
I need a trusted source.
Yeah, please. Any recommendations even would be appreciated so we can reach out and begin the process, because this is something that although 81% don't seem to want, we're going to go ahead.
We're just shoving this down your throat.
Fly right in the face of the audience's desire and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Steve, it was a tough week for us this week.
Was it?
What
happened?
We lost someone pretty close to us.
This one hurt. This was you know how normally you see a celebrity death and you're like, okay, well, that's sad, but, you know, it was their time.
Right.
It was not this person's time.
No, I would argue it would have never been this person's time. An absolute icon of a very specific section of movie and TV, right?
Very specific.
You would not expect this guy in, well, anything else that you would, any other type of movie, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, we lost Paulie Walnuts this week.
My hair sake?
Yeah.
Can you say, is that?
No, I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Because like namesake.
Yeah.
But no, hair sake. We have the same hair.
Would you be willing at this point?
I got the Paulie Walnuts wings.
Would you be willing at this point to maybe even paint them the rest of the way? Paint them white?
Paint them white, but then I got to go real dark on the top. I got to go like jet black.
You wouldn't? Yeah, boy. I'll post it on the poll. Could Steve pull off the Paulie Walnuts?
Like the authentic Paulie Walnuts. Because right now I have a poor man's Paulie Walnuts.
Right. It's like if you wanted to try to be Paulie Walnuts, so you're stressing yourself out a couple times.
I have the poorly walnuts. That's what I tell them when I go to the barber.
I'll post that on the poll. Does Steve have the poorly walnuts haircut?
Yeah, give me the poorly walnuts again.
You again. Come on back. I've got the white paste ready. I'll post that on the poll. But yeah, it's weird because this is a show that I know for you, for me, for a lot of people. It's a generational, not for you and me, but it is a generational show. But it is impactful. Like it is. This news that came out the other day of him passing away has made me think, boy, do I want to go through that for a third time? And I'm thinking about.
You're thinking about doing it.
I'm thinking about firing it up.
63 episodes 63 or something.
63 hours of The Sopranos, revisiting a bit of a different time and place. It's always weird rewatching those shows from that era before cell phones were
I know, they all the flip phones.
Big, so it's a step back. But boy, I'm really thinking about rewatching all of those hours.
That's one of those shows that I feel like at any point I could convince myself very easily to sit down and watch an episode. Because I know as soon as I watch that first episode, I'm in. And it may be slow. It's not going to be a watch 5 episodes a day or anything, but I'd be in pretty quickly.
If you had to relate yourself to one of those characters, I think for me I'd go with, what was his name, Ralphie?
Ralphie Cifaretto?
Yeah, Cifaretto. Yeah. Hated horses. Shot one right in the head.
You did. That was such a strange part of the storyline. So you mostly
identify with the guy who killed a horse.
Identify with the guy who killed a horse and was shacking up with Tony's sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a good question.
What's your soprano?
Surprisingly, I've never...
Well, we can leave it to the
Yeah,
poll.
I've never really thought about that.
Let's just narrow it down to, anywhere between 2 and 4 or 5 options, and we'll leave it to the audience here to decide which Sopranos character is Steve.
Is there anyone that jumps out at you?
Well, I think what we talked about, based on hair alone, we've got to put Paulie.
Yeah.
Paulie has to be on the list. And, that's, oh, man.
I'm a big fan of Silvio Dante.
Of course.
Played by, of course, little Steven Van Zandt.
Yep. The part-time band member.
Yeah.
Of Bruce Springsteen. Boy, we could also post that as an open-ended question and see if people reply and just say which Sopranos character is Steve. And I think based on the hair, the silver stripe, we might get a lot of Paulie Walnuts. But I think in terms of personality, Paulie was always displayed as the goofy guy.
But Paulie also
been
had
in it forever. It's my impression of Paulie was that's the only thing he'd ever known.
Paulie, but see, I wouldn't equate myself with Paulie because Paulie had a real short fuse, and
I wouldn't either. The only relation is the stripe.
That's why I'm thinking more Silvio, because Silvio, he was the guy that you went to and said, like, look, this needs to be done, and he just said, okay, it's done. And I feel like that's more my personality. Like, I'm a get stuff done kind of person.
Right.
I'm not gonna get all caught up in the emotion of it. It's like, you got a task, what do you need done? No problem, I got it. Like, you very, very rarely saw Silvio lose his mind or get flustered or anything. In fact, one of the greatest scenes in the series is when he whacks oh God, what's her name? The girlfriend or the fiance.
Oh yeah.
What the hell is her name?
I know exactly. Adriana, yeah.
Because you don't see it coming. He goes, picks her up, he drives her out into the woods.
They showed the phone call with them earlier. He's coming to pick you up.
He hops, he pulls over, and then it's like this, bam, complete person.
She's crawling off.
Second thought, I don't know if I want to be.
Well, let me give you a fun third option.
Okay.
Maybe you can, and I'll be interested to hear your thoughts here. Maybe Bobby Bacala.
Oh, Bobby Bacala.
You're sitting down in your house.
I love model trains.
That's what I'm thinking. The guy's he's a hobby guy. Yeah. He's really doing the mob thing because, I don't know, it's almost like he has to.
Yeah, it's like it pays the bills.
But all
it's not his ideal career field.
Yeah, but all he wants to do is set up his toy train.
Yeah, like if somebody from Lionel were to come to him and say, hey, we need a regional manager, he'd leave the family.
Yeah, and I think he's doing it for money.
Okay,
and he's and it's almost like you deal with the monkey slingers.
Yeah,
5 days a week. Yep. You grind it out. I don't know how you do it. Kudos to you.
Now, but if I'm Bobby and you're Ralphie, does that put us in an awkward situation because I'm now married to your ex-flame who killed you?
Well, I'm already a nut job.
I mean, you're dead.
Right.
So
yeah, I guess the issue's gone. And again, I believe didn't we make this joke a while ago? I guess you can always come, knock on top of my gravesite and ask if I'm okay.
Yeah. Ask for your blessing. Hey, no offense, I know you're dead, but
I am trying to think of a fourth option. I like the three we have: Paulie Walnuts, strictly based on the hair.
Yeah.
Silvio Dante and Bobby Bacala.
Maybe Dr. Melfi.
You know what? We'll keep the option open. We could always throw in Uncle June.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't really fit. I'd be closer to Uncle Junior.
Yeah,
old,
definitely.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
Hair gone.
See you later. Yeah.
What about and excuse me for forgetting, who was the very handsome Italian guy who they implied that Carmela might be having an affair with? Furio. Yeah. Furio, that's right.
Yeah.
Obviously got sent back to Italy. Mm-hmm. Does he fit in here? Should we throw him on the list? Or
no.
You a Furio guy, a real enforcer,
Well, I mean, both of us lose out on that opportunity at the word handsome.
Right.
I mean,
God, he was a
man,
handsome.
that ponytail was just
honestly.
It was so perfect.
That skin complexion.
Uh-huh.
Oh
yeah.
The most handsome man on that whole show. Not even close.
Not even. Yeah.
What about Chris Moltisanti? Where do you find yourself in the kind of the young, not the whippersnapper, but you're at the heels of the guy running the whole thing?
No, Christopher was a little too impulsive for me.
Okay. I'm trying to go through and think of maybe even some more, not bit characters, but maybe some character actors, maybe some people who weren't on the forefront. We've got the entire
Artie Bucco.
Artie Bucco, the restaurateur. His lovely bride, what was her name? Charmaine. Who just, I think, not only hated Artie, hated the restaurant, hated the Soprano family.
She was not a fan of Vesuvio at all.
The implication was that her and Tony were a thing in high school or something like that.
Yeah.
Are you and her? You know what? That's option 4. Artie Bucco.
That might be as close as we've gotten to a perfect poll.
Yeah. So our options for which Sopranos character is Steve: Paulie Walnut, Silvio, Bobby Bacala, and Artie Bucco.
Can you put Dante? Can it at least be Silvio Dante?
I'll update it. And now I would like to post the same one for me, and I think we know Ralphie Cifaretto would be option 1.
Mm-hmm.
We said, who were we just implying with the no hair?
Wasn't that Artie?
Oh, Artie Bucco. That's right. And you're already on the list for him.
Maybe do Christopher.
Okay.
Christopher would fly off the handle pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that was part of the character trait. Mix it in drugs.
Yeah.
Had aspirations to be bigger.
Oh, Uncle Junior.
Obviously, Uncle June off the handle.
I'm looking at a list of Richie Aprile.
Oh my gosh! You forget about the Aprile family.
Not like Richie.
There anybody in the Leotardo family?
Yeah, I mean Phil. Are you a Phil guy?
Probably not. Although I could see myself dying by getting my head popped off at a gas station.
It sounded like a freaking watermelon getting run over by a car.
What a scene. What a sequence.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a long form way of saying if you've never indulged and enjoyed in the 60 some odd hours that is The Sopranos, do yourself a favor. Yeah. Go back, enjoy it from start to finish. Different time and place in film or television history. Mm-hmm. An absolute top to bottom delight.
Absolutely.
I think maybe as option 4, maybe I'll put
Big Pussy.
Oh my gosh. I was going to put Anthony.
No, you're not an Anthony guy.
I guess that's good. I hated him. Oh God, did I hate him?
I hated that character, and I'm finding a hard time differentiating between him and the real life.
Yes.
The real life person.
Oh boy, I was about to put the real name of the actor named Big Pussy. Turns out when you search that, does not come up what you would think.
It's Pussy Bumpin' Cero.
That's right, Salvatore.
Yeah,
Salvatore. There's no way that many letters are going to fit. So we're going with the nickname after all.
Okay. Well, I think we know.
I wonder which one's going to win.
Oh, man. That was a nice stroll down memory lane there.
Yeah, and this has made me think, though, hearing this news. And listen, he was 78. He wasn't a spring chicken.
Yeah.
And like you had said, you saw him. It was not that long after The Sopranos had ended. And he had aged quite substantially.
Yeah.
And was showing it a little bit, which happens. He was in his 70s.
Yeah.
So anytime news like this hits, though, I don't know if you get the same way. Even with movie actors, too. It makes me want to go rewatch a lot of their movies. James Caan passed away this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty normal. That's why you always see whenever an actor dies or a musician dies, you see that their movies are spiking on Netflix or their music downloads have been through the roof. So that's a pretty normal thing, I think.
This has made me want to go back, though, now and revisit the James Caan history, the catalog.
Yeah.
and rewatched The Godfather.
Yep.
And it's weird because it's not. I would be curious how generationally people take these deaths, because my parents weren't big movie people or celebrity people. We're not that far away, Steve, from a lot of kind of our generation of some of these big time actors passing away. Finding the old 5-galloner, giving it a drop kick. Tom Cruise is 60.
Tom Cruise will not die, though.
But you look at him.
He's a Scientologist. He's got the Phaeton energy or Thetan energy.
Well, yeah, and the blood of the innocent coursing through his veins, as everybody knows.
He swims in volcanoes.
That's right. He bathes in red wine every night because that keeps your body and skin healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you would look at him. Obviously, you don't guess he's 60, but he's 60 doing his own stunts. Is there going to be a switch for Tom Cruise where you see him and then you're like, oh, hey, he's 73.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll be one of those guys that when he retires, he just disappears, and you don't hear about him, you don't see him. I don't think he will be. Like, remember when Bob Barker retired from The Price is Right?
Is Bob still with us?
I don't think so.
I don't remember losing Bob.
It's very similar to, like, I remember, I barely remember, not because I was super young, but because it was just completely not something that I cared about. But when Johnny Carson retired from The Tonight Show,
yes,
you did not see him at all anywhere.
It's strange.
He retired, he did his thing, and then the next time you heard about him was when he died.
And you got the impression that he, based on the way he acted afterwards, he didn't like doing The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
He just did not like the attention to the celebrity, and died,
Letterman's the same way.
Yes.
You hear Letterman talk about how he looks back at stuff that he did and he's embarrassed by it, and he wishes he hadn't done it, wishes he had done it completely differently, which is always weird for me to hear, because the reason that you're able to do these cool things now, like where you're doing your 1 hour deep interview shows, is because of the success you had doing your show for 30 years or whatever on CBS. So it's always weird for me to hear celebrities say, man, I'm really embarrassed by that. Or I look back on that movie that I did or that show that I did, and it embarrasses me. It's like, that kind of feels unfair. It feels like a slap in the face to the people that were fans of you throughout that whole time.
But it feels like the only time you hear that also is from someone, the level of like a Scott Baio who's trying to sell a book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not, for the most part, you're not going to get Tom Hanks going to trash. It was Mork and Mindy, right?
No, that was Robin Williams.
That's Robin Williams. But you're not going to get...
what
was Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks was in a TV show.
Oh, he was on Bosom Buddies.
That's right. I don't think you're going to get Tom Hanks. And if he ever wrote an autobiography, about his career, he's not going to go back and trash that stuff.
No,
I don't think he would.
No, he'd probably say that he looks back on it fondly, but realizes that it's not, it's not award-winning work.
But not everything has to be the height of cinema and the height of television and entertainment, right? Yeah. Not everything's meant to go make or win awards.
Yeah.
Some things are out there just for people to enjoy.
I remember hearing Shia LaBeouf, however you pronounce it. He was talking about some movie that he did. I think it was one of the Transformer movies, and referring to it as a picture. That is not a picture. That's somebody who's a little too serious about what they're doing. Like, Gone with the Wind was a picture.
Sure.
I think The Godfather was a picture. You running around with a Camaro that turns into a robot.
Yeah.
That's not a picture.
Right.
That's a movie. There's a big difference.
It's always aggravating to hear the artsy people talk like that and refer to what they do as that. And I'm like, man, you were running away from a green tennis ball on a stick.
Exactly. It's one thing if it's this like deep introspective movie, and it's like they obviously had to get into character. But yeah, you were talking to your car.
Yeah, and especially
and like running around with Megan Fox.
That's right. And in that regard, Shia LaBeouf was third billing in terms of what people were going to see that movie for. One A being the gigantic car transforming robots. Mm-hmm. One B being Megan Fox leaning over a car hood working on the car. Mm-hmm. And then somewhere down near 4 to 5 is Shia LaBeouf.
I think that somebody who is similar is Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel seems to take what he does very seriously. Do you remember it was when P. Billy Ford died? Of course, Paul Walker, when he died during
we lost him.
During the filming of Fast and the Furious.
I think it was
7.
8. It was 8.
7 or 8. And then, so they finished it. Obviously, that must have been a very emotional thing for them to finish shooting the movie with like body doubles and his brother stepping into the role and like CGI and everything. But then Vin Diesel saying that he thinks it's going to win an Academy Award. Come on, man. I mean, it may have been a good movie. And look, you cannot take away from the success of that movie franchise at all. It's made like billions of dollars.
Right. It's impossible to argue they are popcorn movies that people have fun at.
I mean, sure, the movies have probably won a ton of awards for visual effects and CGI type stuff.
I'm sure they won an MTV Movie Award. No question about it along the way.
But it's not going to win Best Picture.
Right. You haven't been nominated for a Golden Globe, which you can pretty much buy a Golden Globe.
Right.
And that just goes to show mostly whoever's making them doesn't really care.
No.
They're still making $1 billion at a time.
Yeah, they want money.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all they want.
What's worth more? Tiny fake gold statue? Mm-hmm. Or $1 billion? I don't know. Let's go ask the makers of every Marvel movie ever.
Speaking of which, my 1 minute Marvel movie review coming up in just a little bit for Avengers Endgame.
I'm nervous.
I went. I did not take your advice. I did not do the multiple night watch.
Oh, okay.
I watched it. That was the plan. But I sat down and I started watching it, and
like at a normal time, or
what's that?
At a normal time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At a normal time. I thought I was going to split it up, and then timing wise, it just worked out, and I was able to watch the entire thing straight through, and I'm glad that I did. Because there's a lot going on in that movie.
It's a lot to unpack. Everybody's separated, and just like they were in Infinity War, we'll get to that coming up. Because I am greatly concerned.
Oh no,
not greatly concerned. Nervous about your review and how it's going to go.
Okay.
Always, as usual, had a conversation with the town drunk Rusty.
Sure.
About what we think is coming from you this week.
Oh boy, I'm interested. So maybe after I do my...
No, none of it's nice.
After I do my review, maybe you then tell me what you think my rating will be.
Sure.
Or maybe before everything, because I don't want to tip my hat to you at all.
We less.
Do you want to just do that? We could do that right now if you want. We could get to the review.
We can hit it in a second. Yeah. Okay. We less talk about what we think your rating's going to be, and it's much more of just a direct. How do you phrase it? Character assassination of you.
Of me, yeah.
Because we work ourselves up to a fevered pitch, and this is still dating back to Infinity War, and I don't know if I'm going to get over that soon or ever.
We did amend that, though, right?
No.
I thought that we went back and amended it last week.
No, I think we were... Well, you said you had a little bit more regard.
I've thought about it more, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of... I think part of the reason I wasn't as surprised or affected by it is because I have the hindsight of knowing that those characters are back in other movies.
Sure.
So to me,
so you always knew, even though you may not have known what happened.
Right.
In the 5 or 4 years since that movie has come out, you've seen previews. You know there's other movies with Spider-Man in it.
Well, I knew that they're the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I knew that came out. So when he disappeared at the end of Infinity War, I was like, all right, well, I mean, he obviously comes back.
Right.
So I think if I had seen it when it came out, I'm sure that that's the same with all of my reviews. It would have been much different. I'm interested to see when I finally get to see one of the movies in a theater. So God willing, it'll be Thor
Love and Thunder. In about 4 to 6 weeks, whenever we catch up to it.
It's going to be different because I take notes as I'm watching all of these movies.
Please don't do that.
No, like I'll sit there and I watch for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I may pause for a minute, make a couple notes.
Oh, man, I don't know. It's going to be close that you're able to see Thor: Love and Thunder. It should still be in it. It might be in one of those corner movie theaters with 45 seats in it because it will be, because you still have summer movies coming out.
I can get
so they have to make room,
like a double feature with like some porno playing.
Yeah, right. This will be coming out. That episode will be coming out on August 30. So as of now, I think what you're implying that we're going to be planning for people if they want to come join the ride. Yeah. You want to come see Steve's third ever Marvel movie live as he sees it. And granted, most people there will probably already have seen it. Have a little podcast outing.
Yeah.
And it'll be the weekend of August 27 or 28. Yeah.
By the way, we have totally forgotten to respond to Tony. Tony had sent us a message because their podcast is doing something similar, and he's like, maybe we can join forces and do that. We're like, we're just going to see a movie.
Yeah, there's no forces. Yeah. I'm not setting anything up here.
if you'd like to join us for the movie and the drinks out, cool. But that is as official as it gets.
Yeah, here's the furthest we're going on planning. With, I promise, at least 2 weeks, we'll give you notice on date and time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a day, we'll have a movie time, and we'll have a theater location picked out.
Yeah.
And
we will base that on what is the most convenient for me and for you.
Presumably, it'll be that Saturday. That's my guess. Mm-hmm. August 27. I can't fathom you wanting to do a midweek show.
Let me see, because
another thing we could also do if you really wanted to amp up the fun is I'm sure we could reach out and see if we could rent a theater, Steve, at a little bit more cost to you and I. Could dig into the coffers maybe, or just pay out of our own pocket.
I could do 26th. I could do 27th. Actually, I could do 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st.
But we've got to record for this to be caught up and released on the 30th.
Okay. All right, so let's look at 26, 27, somewhere in there. Even 28. I'm good with 28.
It will be one of those dates at a local movie theater. Time exactly to be determined.
Again, this is all going to be based on what is the most convenient for us.
But we'll leave notice, and we will make sure we give as much notice as humanly possible for whenever they unveil these times for that weekend.
We'll make a Facebook event and everything because it would be nice if we're going to have a few people, and it would be cool to kind of, if we're going to meet at a restaurant or something for drinks, just kind of give them a head count.
Right. We will give as much notice as humanly possible. But yes, please come join us for Thor: Love and Thunder, August 26 or 27. We'll get back to you with more specifics as we get closer.
Yeah.
And then, Steve, it's the waiting game until the next Marvel movie.
Yeah, when is it? November?
I believe it's November, typically Thanksgiving-ish. So it will be...
This will easily be, by far, the most amount of movie. I mean, it already is by far the most amount of movies I've seen in a calendar year. But by the end of this year, I'll be at 32 movies, roughly. 32, 33 movies.
Just steamrolling through them. Mm-hmm. Again, this started January 11 with 2008's Iron Man.
Was that the first one?
And today we are 11 years later, as you're going to review here shortly, 2019's Avengers Endgame.
It's funny, I'm getting oddly excited when, before I start each movie, I look it up, I make sure that I have the year written down, and the fact that I'm so close to being in this decade.
Yeah, you're almost...
I'm excited.
Well, and you're about to find you're going to be in this decade after next week because there's 2020 movies.
Right, yeah, because of the pandemic.
Of COVID, so they bumped everything to 2021, and we're going to be caught up to Black Widow in 2 weeks. That was 2021.
All right, before we move on, though, look, if you have an idea for a great new podcast... I mean, granted, we don't want the competition because it seems like everyone does podcasts. But if you do...
Maybe all the ideas are gone,
If you have a great idea for a podcast, you can bring your idea to life. Start your podcast today with the service that we use, that you download this podcast from. It's called Libsyn, Libsyn. Our podcast has been on Libsyn for, I think, about 5.5, 6 years or so. And we absolutely love it.
That's right, Steve. Libsyn has everything you're going to need to start today. You can plan, launch, and grow your very own podcast with Libsyn. They provide some of the best resources created by the expert podcasters who have been doing this forever. And they're going to show you everything you need to know, what equipment you need to use, how to record good audio, how to get your show onto Apple Podcasts and other platforms, and so much more.
Plus, as a friend of ours, the Steve and Kyle podcast, because we consider you all to be very, very close friends. When you sign up with Libsyn, you get your first month of podcast hosting absolutely free. Just be sure to tell them that you heard about it from Steve and Kyle.
That's right. We pulled some strings over there at Libsyn, and there's never been a better time than right now for you to start your podcasting adventure. Visit Libsyn.com. Use the code FRIEND, FRIEND. That's LIBSYN.com. Use code FRIEND, FRIEND. Get started. Create your very own podcast today.
All right. So, do we get right into the movie review, or what exactly?
No. Steve. We have to tease.
Oh, no.
What is going to be a very special episode.
That's right. How could I forget? I mean, it's pretty easy to forget, but...
For the third time ever, in an official capacity for the second time ever only, we are going to have, and the first time in this beautiful box of a studio we've got here,
90 square feet.
And I got to tell you,
8-foot ceilings.
If I had to estimate, I'd have told you 95. That's how spacious it feels in here.
Well, that's what a stooge would do. But the man who built the place...
That's what a real idiot who can't count would estimate.
The man that built the place knows that this room's 10 by 9.
So 90, exactly.
It's pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We are in quite a cube. For the first time ever in APS 4.0, we are going to have a live guest.
That's right. I mean, it could be a star of stage and screen. Maybe a music recording
maybe a fellow
artist.
podcaster.
Maybe a comedian.
A stand-up in town. We're bringing him in.
Or maybe a accountant of some sorts.
Friend of the show, nay, family of the show.
Family of the show.
Our very own brother Mike is going to be visiting in about a month, and I guess, well, boy, Mike hasn't heard it here, but yeah, Mike, we're all going to be doing an episode together in a month.
Yeah,
he doesn't know that yet.
I think that he was expecting that at some point. We've talked about it many times before.
Absolutely.
They haven't been out here to visit in a couple of years, but they're going to be out here for kind of a long weekend. I think like a Thursday to a Monday.
Right. Yeah, and you're dragging him out here due to your wandering nether regions, which have created another life in this house.
Oh, boy. Sounds so romantic the way that you...
Well, listen, if there's one romantic relationship I know, it's the Steve and Annette marriage, which, as we've joked about for, honest to goodness, years, had begun on the loveliest honeymoon, where a bellhop was singing a song as boxers were kicked across the room, so Steve could go sit in the tub and look at garage door openers.
Look, I still maintain it was a good idea. Got a very good deal on them.
Listen, you can't literally spend 5 or 7 nights in Sandals, Jamaica doing nothing but making babies.
Right.
So looking for garage door openers is fine.
Look,
I just think
there's
it's
some
funny.
downtime. There's some downtime.
I just find it funny that you're by a beach or a pool or whatever, and you're Amazoning Ryobi garage door openers. I will never not love that story of the celebration of your marriage.
Fantastic deal.
But anyway, Brother Mike is going to be joining us live in studio here. We're going to talk all things Springsteen, all things Sopranos, probably. All things Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
All things...
We're going to cover it all.
All things family hair. How'd you keep it? Both of you? To hell with both of you?
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing my brother and I have in common, both have a fine head of hair.
But does that... I don't think I'm not trying to get too personal. Is it? You guys have back hair? Does it just scroll all the way down?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
Were you like 12 with that? You know, everybody's looking at you like, oh boy, he's already got black hair on his arms, and he's 11 years old.
No. I think
so. Normal amount of hair for both of you guys.
Yeah, normal amount, I would say.
Yeah, I'll get verification from him when he's here. I'll ask him to make sure you're not lying. You're not taking those.
I'll leave the room.
Yeah, you're not leaving taking those clear white tape strips and stripping them down your back to get rid of your back hair.
That's gonna be a strange episode.
That's right. Brother Mike in studio coming up next month. I am very much looking forward to this. And
I'm excited too.
I think I am much more excited than you. I'm thinking about clearing my entire calendar to do as much as possible that we can with Brother Mike.
Okay.
Indulge in whatever sporting events going on at the time. Go out to some bars, have some drinks. Mm-hmm. I know your brother's a cigarman. Maybe
he is a cigarman.
Maybe I could share in a stogie with him.
Yeah.
Again, I don't care if you're around for any of it.
I was gonna say I didn't seem like I was invited, so
I'm essentially in my mind.
Let me know how it goes, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe someone will be here with the kids. I couldn't care less.
Not yours.
Someone watching them? Sounds good. But this is going to be very exciting. So first time family's been out here. Not family, but they have been out here, you said, in a couple of years.
Yeah, they haven't been out here since it's probably going to be almost 3 years at that point. They were out here around the time that Evelyn was born.
That's
within
right.
the first month or 2 months that she was here.
That's right. And as you just said a few minutes ago, it took the wandering nether regions to bring them back to the great state of Michigan. To get them back here for the first time in a few years. So the whole family's coming out.
Whole gang, yeah.
Now, have you gone by? Are you making any plans with the whole gang? Doing anything special? I know he's got, not specifically when he's here, the family, but they're making this a nice road trip.
Yeah, they're doing a bunch of baseball games on the way out. I think they're doing a baseball game in Pittsburgh. Because they're coming out from the Philadelphia area. So they're doing Pittsburgh, Cleveland,
and then
maybe Detroit.
And Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're... Well, we just confirmed the dates within the last week or so.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what their plan is yet, and it's on our calendar, but we haven't discussed anything yet.
Is that something that interests you? Do you find yourself thinking maybe down the road you'll do something like that with the Boulin Wall?
Baseball trip?
Maybe Evelyn. Yeah, but I figure for you it'll have to be, take you to the local Jeep wreck-em. Right, where they just all smash Jeeps together or something, right? Is that something that happens?
We're going to follow the demolition derby circuit around the Midwest.
Because that's the only place I can get people.
Right.
So it's just different towns in Iowa, southern Indiana.
Hey, Boulin Wall, you want to go watch trucks crash into trucks?
Go ahead with Uncle Jimmy. That's you now. You now talk like that.
Okay.
I don't know why. Because you've now become one of them.
Well, yeah.
Right? So you don't have a normal shirt.
Nope.
Everything is stained.
Yeah.
Sleeves have been manually cut off.
Yeah, some kind of catchphrase on it.
That's right. And you and the Boulin Wall are touring local wreck-em shows.
Yeah, I would say 70% of my T-shirts have two thumbs pointing at me. And says, it starts with who's got two thumbs and likes, and then insert whatever, trucks, boobs.
Mm-hmm. Both.
Trucks and boobs.
Who's got two thumbs and likes trucks and boobs? And it's you.
Right. Yeah.
But I think it helps to do some of these trips because I think a lot of people think of doing these trips with their dad or the other way.
With I did one of these trips with my dad.
And I have questions for you then because you're not a baseball guy. You're not a sports guy. You don't hate them.
Back then I was a big baseball guy.
Oh, okay.
I loved it. Yeah, we went to
Phillies guy?
We went to like 6 games in 7 days at 6 different ballparks.
Okay.
So we saw a game in Pittsburgh at the old Three Rivers Stadium, then Cleveland at what was Jacobs Field. I think it's still where they play now, but it was like the first year at Jacobs Field.
Yeah, okay.
We saw a game in Milwaukee at the old Brewers Stadium. Both parks in Chicago.
Okay.
And then Detroit at old Tiger Stadium. And I think that was it. So what's that? 6? Yeah. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit. Yeah, I think that was it. And it was a blast. I loved it. That was like 1993 or 94. So I was 12 or 13 years old.
It probably hits you a little bit differently when you're that age as well.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Now that you're older and you're I mean, you don't follow baseball whatsoever, obviously, outside unless the Phillies are in the World Series, and then you're an Uber fan.
Right, yeah.
And, which
go Mike Schmidt.
That's right. Go Schmitty. Go
Steve Carlson.
Go Crucky.
It was the Crucker, all right?
Sorry, was it Crucky?
I talked about this on the side gig last week. Out of nowhere, I had something popped in my brain because, again, 1993, I was a huge Phillies fan. That was the year that the Phillies went to the World Series, played the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series, lost walk-off home run by Joe Carter off of Mitch Williams. I mean, I was a huge fan that year. And I remember they had, at the end of the year, they have one of those, like, you know, home companion videos where it's like a video recap of the whole season. And we got it that year, and it was narrated by Harry Callis, who was the late legendary broadcaster for the Phillies, and Lenny Dykstra.
Oh, no.
Their center fielder, all-star center fielder that year.
Well, with everything good.
Right. And the video was called Whatever It Takes, Dude. And it was narrated by the two of them. And it was great. And I was like, man, I wonder if that's on YouTube or anything. And I looked it up. It is on YouTube. It's an hour long. And I sat there and watched the entire thing with baby Boulinwall on my lap. I was rocking him because he was taking a nap. And we watched the entire story of the 1993 Philadelphia Phillies.
What would be your... Because for a lot of people, it was called an E60, which similar to a 30 for 30, just not as long, and they air it on kind of Sunday morning on ESPN. They had one on the 1996, and excuse me if I'm wrong, Red Wings versus Avalanche.
Oh yeah.
Rivalry that was an absolute blood feud.
Yeah, it's like a legendary rivalry.
Yeah, and for me, I'm a casual observer of hockey now. I'm a fan, I suppose, but as I age, sports become less of uber fandom for me and more of a gambling opportunity.
Right.
What is that era or team or rivalry or player for you that you need that you would say, hey, put the kids to bed. I'm busy. I'm sitting down. Is it the 93 Phillies? Is it something with the Flyers?
93 Phillies was big. There was always the big, like, Flyers and Rangers or Flyers and Devils rivalry. Eagles, Cowboys.
Okay.
Like, if they... I want to watch the one on the Red Wings and Avalanche, even though I didn't have a dog in the fight. I watched the trailer for it. It looked amazing.
Yeah, and some things transcend regional, but a lot of those are very regional. You know, a lot of people don't like the Cowboys.
Yeah,
but Eagles fans hate the Cowboys. Would it go? How would it go if Brother Mike pulls in? I'm here. I'm handing out hugs. I'm crying because I've missed my brother.
You get to see your nephews. You haven't seen them in
it's been forever,
a couple of years.
If I have gift bags, personalized names on the back of Cowboys jerseys for the boys.
It's funny. I actually have exactly that. I have a Cowboys T-shirt personalized with my name on the back of it.
Like a gag gift?
It was a gift because this was a couple of years ago for the side gig.
It was the radio thing, wasn't there?
Couple of years ago for the side gig, the company that syndicates our radio show invited us to a kind of like a team building State of the Union type couple of day thing. And we stayed at the Star in Dallas, which is basically the city that Dallas Cowboys have built. They have their own, I mean, there's like a whole downtown area. There's it's where the Cowboys practice facility is. Hotels and everything. And our syndication company has a very close affiliation with them.
Right.
So we stayed there, and they give us, when you get there, you get like a little gift bag, and it's got the itinerary of what you're doing for a couple days, and then like a little, a beer koozie with a logo on it, and some tchotchkes with different participating sponsors. And since it was at the Star, and we got to tour we got to go to the stadium, what is it called, where the Cowboys play? Whatever.
Jerry World is the nickname, but in Arlington. I forget what it's actually
this,
called.
I mean, this behemoth.
AT&T?
AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
Massive stadium. And as a gift, they gave us all the blue T-shirts, Cowboys logo, our names on the back of it. And I opened that up and I was like, even though I am, as you said, a casual at best sports fan right now, there's still like, even though I'm a very casual fan right now, there's still some things I will never wear.
And it's a Cowboys.
It's a Cowboys T-shirt.
It goes back to, there's videos that float around the internet of girl and boyfriend go to visit, her dad for the first time ever, or, have their newborn in a Cowboys jersey and the grandpa won't touch them or something like that.
Yep.
And it's amazing how that kind of sits with you. Forever.
Yeah.
I don't care if you make me money at this day and age and I'm gambling on you. That's what I base my fanhood on.
Sure.
That's why I believe, I forget the listener, this was years ago, sent me the Wofford shirt because I had made money gambling on Wofford.
That's right. Was that a football team, a baseball team?
Basketball, you big idiot. The Wofford.
My apologies. The Wofford
Terriers.
Of course. I can edit out that rat-a-tat-tat of the keyboard.
What do you mean? No. I'm typing up a poll. Well, it's going to be very exciting. Brother Mike, family are going to be in tow. I am anxious to be able to hang out and record with them. And
look, big reason to tune in that week.
Big reason to tune in. We get all the stories about Jet Steve, how dumb Mike thought that was. Because Mike's an accountant, right? Mike's not dumb.
No, it's something with mutual funds.
Right. If I remember it, I broke the last job change to you regarding Brother Mike, however many years ago that was. And I can't wait to say, granted, it's in hindsight, but when Brother Mike, however many years ago, found out that, how old Steve bought?
That would have been
23?
23-year-old. Well, I remember that the jet ski was a brand new 07, so I would have been 25 or 26.
So 20. I can't wait to get his reaction when he found out, maybe through the grapevine, because
I think we asked him about it when we had him on.
Well, he doesn't remember a lot of the stories of you, but I want to know his honest thoughts as a financial guy, because he's 2 years older than you. I'm sorry, 3 years older.
Yeah.
So he's in his late 20s.
Yeah.
He probably had his career, he knew he's going to be in the numbers field. When he
at that
found
point,
out.
Yeah, at that point, he was probably well settled into his first job.
When he had found out.
Second job, I don't know.
That his younger brother, living in an apartment.
With not 2 nickels to rub together.
Had gone and financed a Sea-Doo.
Having ridden one like one time in my life. The only reason I went and bought it is because a buddy of mine that I worked with went to... the Atlantic City boat show was in town, so he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to the boat show this weekend." I was like, "Oh, cool. Are you getting a boat?" And he's like, "Nah, we got free tickets from the radio station or something like that." He's like, "I'm just going to go with my wife." And then on the next Monday, he's like, "Dude, I bought this jet ski," and I was like, "Well, I'm going to buy one too." And immediately went and bought one.
In the pantheon of Steve stories that I love and will relive until the day I die. And at my whichever one of us finds the old 5-galloner and first
kicks it.
The other one, I need the stories told. Like if you die before me and I'm at your funeral, I don't care if I'm on the list. I'm going up there. Tell the story about when you made Annette cry and
the drywall,
and the time that you bought a jet ski to commute to a storage unit to go to the ocean for like an hour a week for 6 months.
An hour a week? I would be thrilled if I had an hour a week.
On the water?
Again, I sold it after 3 summers of owning it, and it had 17 hours of runtime on it.
That's just amazing.
I mean, I sold it for $100 more than what I owed on it. So in theory, technically, I did make a profit off of it. But when you add up all the storage fees and everything, because I had to get a storage unit to store it in, because again, I lived in an apartment and owned a jet ski.
This dates back on this podcast to the old was Second Chance Jeep successful discussion, because you sold it for a profit, but you held on to it for 50 calendar weeks.
But we did, in that case, though,
made a profit.
I maintain because we didn't pay for storage. If we had paid for storage, we just stored it in.
Physically, you made a profit. There's no question.
Yeah,
right?
But we stored it in, Chris's grandmother's
driveway or yard
shed for a year. So yeah,
just amazing. So yeah, that'll be coming up next month. A lot of questions, a lot of discussion for Brother Mike, and if it ends up going long, maybe we split it and can have a second discussion with him before he leaves.
Maybe we'll do a stream if he's here like on a Friday.
That's not a bad idea.
That would be a fun time.
That would be nice. We could get together. Obviously the kids will be. I don't care, and we'll be. We can sit down here and do our thing.
Yeah.
Here in APS 4.0. Steve, we have a couple things to get to, and I apologize. We've blown past the clock. We're going to lose Robert here very, very soon.
Oh, yeah. Matter of minutes.
So my apologies. He will not get to hear your thoughts on Avengers Endgame.
Oh, I have to apologies in advance. Mm-hmm. There's a chance that I might go 10, maybe 15 seconds long on this.
Over a minute?
It was a
3-hour movie.
As you know, a long movie. I tried to consolidate my thoughts, make them as concise as possible, but there's a good chance I might just need that extra 10 to 15 seconds.
We'll see what we can do. The timer is not very forgiving. Before that, though, I was hoping you could step out.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe because it's been a week, we will go ahead and shoot and release a little update video and release that on social media here this week. Because I need to have my conversation this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me get out of here.
Well, I haven't seen him roaming around. Usually I can smell the patchouli, and I couldn't smell it on the way in this morning.
I'll see if I can find it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because
hang tight.
As we all know, for the second time, I need to check in. Was he just sitting on the couch out there? Oh, thank goodness. Thank you for waiting. It's time for me to check in on my beard formation with the Beard Father. Beard Father, how are you today?
I'm good. I don't have a lot of time, though.
Oh. You've got like an doctor's appointment, everything okay? Or
Today's the day of my daughter's wedding.
Oh, you got to be kidding. How many daughters do you have?
I have many daughters. Not a lot of time.
And they all... They decided to get chain married?
I got a group rate.
Same venue, different people, consecutive weeks. I get it. So I'm thrilled that you're able to take the time. It seems like it's a pretty busy day.
I don't have a lot of time. As I told you, today, the day of my daughter's wedding.
May I ask, what's the spread like?
A lot of shrimp.
I was going to assume cold cuts.
I got a group rate.
So I've heard. It's been a week, Beard Father. This is the second week now. I have been growing out the beard. I took your Beard Fatherly advice just yesterday. And I decided to trim up on the chin and down on the cheeks using, obviously, your recommendations of shaving. And as the Beard Father, you're the only person who can offer such sage advice. How does it look? Any recommendations going forward for this next week of beard growth?
Turn to the side. Turn to the other side. I will tell you that today, the day of my daughter's wedding.
For God's sake, I don't know where that ties into my beard.
I will offer you this advice. And also my opinion. Continue to not shave. It looks okay.
A ringing endorsement, actually. I can only thank you as I continue on this journey.
Now I must leave.
Oh, God. You got somewhere to be?
Today is the day of my daughter's wedding.
Oh, God. Can I just give you one? Just one?
Absolutely not. Goodbye.
Just begging you. Just. Beard Father, wait. Just. Please. Don't go by the toll. Don't do the toll booth today. Also, skip the orange. You don't need it. It's not worth it. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Things go well?
He was a little abbreviated today.
Oh.
He seemed like he was preoccupied.
I know he was busy today. I think I heard him say on the way in.
Oh, of course.
He was telling me that his daughter gets married today. You believe that?
His second daughter.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, look, it's not a lot is known about the Beard father. He may have many daughters. This may be the fifth one that's gotten married. We've just known him for the couple of weeks that his two current daughters are getting married.
Listen, I'm always a little bit nervous talking to the Beard father because, he could have me killed.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, you guys were passing ways on the door on the way in and out, and I tried to tell him to, don't go to the toll booth today. I guess that's not him, though.
Yeah.
The son. Skip it.
It's a big day. Big day here on the podcast.
This is a pretty big culmination right here.
Is this the culmination? No. There's still one more.
One more in Phase 4.
In Phase 3.
Three. Sorry, yes.
Phase 3.
In Phase 3, one more movie in Phase 3 that is Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the
2019 Spider-Man Far From Home.
2019. Yeah, they all. This will wrap up our 2019 campaign.
You got the DVD for me?
I will.
Oh boy.
Negotiate a handoff of that here soon this week. Is
that it? Is it over? Am I 22 movies in
hang on,
for naught?
I've got a backup for you.
What do you got?
Steve, you're in luck.
What do you got?
Spider-Man No Way or Far From Home is streaming.
Okay.
You just need to watch it with commercials on FX.
Oh.
Like the former generation. When you'd all sit down for the Friday night movie.
Right.
On ABC.
And they try to shoehorn as many ads into that as possible.
Yeah, and if there's a hint of boob, it gets edited out.
Turned into like a potato chip or something. Okay.
The semblance of the F word is now,
all right,
like pony.
Wait, now, Spider-Man, the actor to portray Spider-Man changes, doesn't it? At some point, aren't there multiple people who played Spider-Man? Or am I thinking of the Sony movies?
You're thinking of the Sony movies. So you're going back to the original trilogy with Tobey Maguire. Directed by Sam Raimi. Those are the trilogy that formed my love of Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. They could not come to terms on a fourth Spider-Man film, although they were way deep into production. I'm glad you asked. And so they decided to reboot it entirely, where they cast Andrew Garfield and went Sony exclusive. And that's really, if you wanted to pinpoint where Sony started going wrong in the superhero industry, it would probably be the Amazing Spider-Man.
The father back in. I think that I need to ask him a favor.
Anyway,
today, the day of his daughter's wedding.
Today's literally the only day outside of last week that you can ask him for that favor. So yeah, if you're counting, this is the third incarnation of Spider-Man. If you really want to get picky,
I did not listen
let's
to
talk
a word
1970s television show.
Okay, this week, 2019's Avengers Endgame. This is a big one.
I'm nervous. The Town Drunk and I have had extensive conversation about how we're already mad at you.
Well, look, there is nothing that I want more in my life than to make you two idiots happy.
Well, try then. For just one of these. Please. Give a damn and try. So,
all
Steve, your review, officially, the culmination of what had been building for 11 years, 2019's Avengers Endgame.
Again, apologies if I go 5, 10, max 15 seconds longer. This was a long movie, 3 hours and 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit it.
Ooh, Hawkeye's whole family disappears. Damn you, Thanos! Tony and Nebula are just floating through space after Thanos erased half the universe, but Carol shows up and saves them. She brings them back to meet up with the other remaining Avengers. Things are still a bit testy between Tony and Cap. Get over it, guys. It's been like 9 movies. Carol and the remaining Avengers team up to find Thanos. and get the stones back and reverse all the chaos. They find him camping out in a hut on some planet. He claims that he destroyed the stones. Thor cuts his head off. I think Thor has some anger issues. 5 years later, a rat walking through a storage place steps on the one button that was needed to be pressed for Ant-Man to come back from the quantum realm. He's super confused because, well, half the world is gone. He wants to turn the quantum realm into a time machine, but they need Tony's help. Tony, hard pass. He's like living in a cabin somewhere. Seems pretty happy. He's got a daughter now. The Hulk is in, though. Side note, the Hulk is now half Hulk, half Banner.
Yeah. That one, I feel like that was
15 seconds.
Do you accidentally have that sped up, maybe?
Maybe. Oh, yeah. See, yep. Okay.
Go ahead and fix that. There we go.
Then Tony sees a picture of him and Peter Parker. He's back in. Tony solves time travel in about 2 seconds. Hulk and Rocket go to find Thor. He's not looking too good these days. Hawkeye comes back to test out time travel, and it works. The gang splits up to get the stones back. Tony finds the blue thing, the Tesseract, but then screws up when trying to get it back, and past Loki gets it. Cap runs into past Cap, has a fight, and then they talk about his butt a lot. His American ass, sorry. This is getting very Back to the Future-y. Bruce gets the time stone from the Ancient One. Nebula gets all entangled with past Nebula. Thanos is onto them. Rhodey and Nebula get a stone. Tony and Cap go back to 1970 and get the blue thing. Tony even sees his pops. Oh, that made me feel a little bit. Cap sees Peggy. Didn't even say, hey, what's up? Pretty rude, Cap. Natasha sacrifices herself for Hawkeye. A soul for a soul, as the red dude said. They have all the stones, but no Nat. Frowny face. Okay, what are we, 35 seconds in?
Yeah, you've still got about 20 to 25 left, so you're right on track.
Hulk puts on the glove with all the stones, snaps his fingers, and fixes what Thanos did. Just as that happens, past Nebula opens up a portal, and Thanos and the gang show up to raise some hell. Cap, Tony, and Thor go at it with Thanos and kill him for good, or try to kill him for good. Nebula and past Gamora team up and take out past Nebula. Cap just picked up Majorlan. What the hell did I just witness? Just when it seems like all is lost, fire holes start opening up everywhere. It worked. All of the dead people are back, including all of the once dead Avengers. Black Panther, Groot is there, but most importantly, Wong is back.
Wong,
everybody. Baby. Between Clint, Black Panther, Wanda, Spidey, and Carol, the stones get volleyed around quite a bit, but Thanos ultimately gets them. Ooh, big bummer. Psych! Tony swoops in and pulls the old magician stealing your watch trick, gets the stones, turns all of the bad dudes into dust, including Thanos. Woo. Took a toll on him, though. Tony is... Oh. Cap fulfills the promise to return the stones to the past, but then he doesn't come back. Well, he does, but he's like 100 years old. He decided to stay in the past and live with Peggy. Okay, I'll be honest, that got me a little bit. He passes off the shield, and Falcon is the new Captain America, and that, everybody, was 2019's Avengers Endgame.
Woo! Yes! This is what it's been building to since January 10. For me, I've enjoyed all the movies. Mm-hmm. I watch them all, see them all, whatever. This is the one, though, that it all built to and was building to.
Yeah. This was a big one. Man, there was a lot.
So much
a lot to take in that movie.
And if I could say so myself, pretty well balanced. Considering the multitude of characters. I think between Infinity War and Endgame, the way it was balanced with having 1 bajillion heroes with so many different stories to still feel like they were all impactful in their own way was so beautifully done by the Russo brothers in these 2 movies. Absolutely beautiful way to do it.
I appreciated it because it was split up as a non-Marvelsman.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're 22 now.
It was split up in a way that made it easily digestible for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the original theory was do these not back to back, but a year apart. Mm-hmm. And they were a year apart, but they still wedged in 2 movies in between, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, which, they had to show Ant-Man ended up being key to this, which is kind of surprising in that regard. Mm-hmm. And then obviously Carol being key to it as she comes back. And flies through Thanos' ship and takes it
Yeah,
down
boy,
for good.
yeah, she kicked some ass there. That was cool. Because she basically was like, hey, I'm here, but not really. I got like a million other planets to look after.
So irritating, though. Just so irritating. And I like Captain Marvel as a character, and but my God, what? Like Thor chops Thanos' head off.
Yeah, that was surprising.
And then she just walks away, and she's like, "All right, see you guys in 6 years or whatever if you need me."
That was really surprising.
I loved it. I feel like that first 15 to 20 minutes was so breathless in terms of you don't know what's going to happen because it's picking up after the events of the blip is what it ends up being called.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Thor so upset about how he didn't mishandle, but about himself, how he wasn't able to fix it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or to stop it when it happened 5 or years or months prior. And without hesitation, lobs off his head.
Yep.
And you see Rocket, what did you just do? I went for the head, and he walks out, and you just know that he's been severely damaged by his inability to stop what happened.
Yeah, it's crazy how in hindsight it seems like it was pretty easy to kill Thanos.
Well, broken down, he said using the stones absolutely killed him. Yeah. And as you saw when the Hulk did it, he spent the rest of the movie with a sling on because it so ruined his arm.
Yep.
You see the emotional devastation on Black Widow early on as she's feels like she still needs to save everything and she can't because there's not much. The big thing's gone. They lost, as Tony says repeatedly. We lost.
Yeah, and she has the line like, if I don't do this, who will? Like, what about no one?
This was such, for a comic book movie for me, goosebump inducing because of the character depth they provided along the way. Hawkeye handling it one way. Tony
did he become like a vigilante?
A vigilante assassin. Just murdering criminals. And you see Tony handling it one way, kind of quitting and not wanting to be a part of the hero game or the world at all. Mm-hmm. You see Nat feeling like she needs to save the world still when they already lost. It just, I love it. Everybody in a different phase after what happened because you see, and I think we talked about it after Infinity War. I blame it on all of their little bit of selfishness. Mm-hmm. You see Star-Lord in Infinity War can't bring himself to do what he needs to do and then interrupts Thanos with when they have the gauntlet almost off. Mm-hmm. And Doctor Strange not giving up the stone at the start. All of these little things. And then you see everybody fundamentally changed as a ramification of what had happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I absolutely adored this movie on rewatch. And Steve, I know what you're thinking, and I will cried like a baby.
Did you?
Absolutely cried again.
Okay.
The Tony scene at the end, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where he snaps, he falls inside.
I just like the first time you see Spider-Man in Endgame, and he goes up to Tony. He's, Mr. Stark, remember when I was turning into dust, and I said it didn't feel so good, and then it got all weird for a minute. And it was like I was dreaming, and then Doctor Strange came and said, "It's been 5 years. We need your help."
And he just hugs him, and you can tell Tony was so damaged by. I mean, there's just it was so good, and to see the Avengers Assemble scene.
Yeah.
Every hair on all of them
that was cool.
Was raised.
That was really cool.
Where they start coming through, and then is that everybody? And then you got our baby boy.
Yeah.
Wong. Did you want more as every hero's come through the portals?
If Wong came through every one of those portals, I think that this would be about as close to a perfect movie as I've ever seen.
Listen, I'll post it on the poll because I think 1,000 Wongs would have been more efficient than 1,000 Avengers.
I mean, 1,000 Wongs is definitely better than all the Avengers, right? Right? I mean, even you, an Avengersman, you would have to.
Listen, Wong's a Sorcerer Supreme. 1,000 Sorcerer Supremes.
I'm gonna go out on a ledge.
Oh no,
I'm more of a Wongsman than a Avengersman.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to take it back.
Okay, I'm more of a 1,000 Wongsman than single Avengersman.
Okay,
fair.
That's fair.
You too?
No.
Really?
Listen, I respect the hell out of you.
For
going on that ledge.
Do you?
This was full of iconic moments, and there's still. I'll still watch YouTube reaction videos, and you see these from, the 70s and 80s and things from classic movies, horror movies, and audience reactions with the audio now synced up to the movie. They have those for these movies, for the Avengers Endgame.
Oh, do they?
For all of those iconic scenes where you see Mjolnir end up in Cap's hand, the crowd going nuts.
I didn't know how that happened.
It's got to be worthy.
Because Thor says, Thor makes a comment, I knew you were, or I knew you could.
They joked about it in, I think, what was it, Avengers Age of Ultron, where they're drinking. This was before Ultron.
That's right. Okay,
they're all trying to pick up the hammer.
Scene.
Thor said, I knew it. Yeah. And this is a nice culmination of that as well.
When that happened, seriously, I'm watching the TV and I just went, what?
Yeah. There's that moment, when there's some of the crowd reaction from the girl power scene, which a lot of people roll their eyes at. I didn't mind it. It is what it is, where all of the female heroes banded together to take down, I forget who it was.
No, I know what you're talking about.
It was a smaller fight in the bigger fight scene. And then the Avengers assemble when Cap is in front. It's over. I think it's over again, right? Is Cap with his busted up shield.
Yep.
He's on the ground. He's pulling himself up because he's the only one left.
Yeah.
And then you hear that little, the sparks. And you see the first portal open.
Yeah.
And then when they all come and he says, Avengers, assemble.
Yeah.
The crowd just went bananas.
Yeah. That was cool. It was really cool.
I am so happy you were able to go on this journey. I don't even care if you watch the rest of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. I mean, I figure I've made it this far. I'm more than 2/3 of the way through.
Before we get out of here, then.
Yeah.
I need your official review. The 22nd entry, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Culmination.
Okay.
From 2008's Iron Man all the way up to 2019's Avengers Endgame. Many sagas, many characters. Iconic comic book characters. All come together in the battle for our universe.
Yeah.
Your official review, then. 2019, Russo brothers directed Avengers Endgame.
I think we might have a new top dog in town.
Hey! All right.
Take that as you will.
Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be tough to. I mean, we're not sure where that's gonna fall.
I'm a movie review stenographer. I just copy down what you tell me.
Is that better than one thumb and 11:30 on a clock? I don't know. We'll leave it up to the Academy to decide. Are you still typing all of this?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll let the Academy decide.
I loved that movie from start to finish. I thought it was fantastic.
And like you said, you watched it straight through.
Straight through. My plan, because I started it on Friday, kind of in the afternoon, and I was like, all right, I'll watch a little bit during nap time.
It's tough to do that.
I plowed right through, watched the entire thing, loved it, start to finish. I thought it was great. I loved when they were going back to find the stones. So they were basically going back into past movies.
Right.
Like when they went back and you see Star-Lord
dancing
and everything. Because in the movie with the music and it's the context,
it's
it makes
very
sense.
different in the movie. It looks so cool in the movie,
exactly.
right?
But then you see it's very meta because they're going back into another movie to see it. I thought that was really cool. And then the scene when Loki's attack in New York.
Yes.
When they're going back to 2012 or whatever that was.
Yep.
So you see, I think it was Hulk,
Black Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Captain.
But when you see Hulk watching Hulk.
Yes.
When you see current Hulk watching past Hulk, he's just you can tell he's embarrassed. And then he's he picks up a car roar.
Yeah, he has to act the part because everybody's seen him storming around the city.
Right.
And so he doesn't know what to do. So many good things there.
Great scene.
You mentioned in your review, America's Ass.
America's Ass.
Which is still talked about.
Yeah.
People love that scene and that line and that whole sequence when he leans over in the elevator sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Because he remembers, that's a big fight.
Yeah.
Because he now has to fight for the Tesseract.
Yeah. The Tesseract.
And he leans over and just says, Hail Hydra, to calm the whole storm.
Yeah.
So well done. And you see the little tease there, Steve, as you mentioned, the Tesseract gets lost. Who steals it? None other than the guy who can't be killed.
Barf.
That's right. Loki lives.
Yeah.
Again, we will come to a firm conclusion on how we want to treat the TV series. I think the Town Drunk Rusty and I have come to a pretty good conclusion that we think you need to watch WandaVision and Loki. The rest, if you want to skip, you can. Although I enjoyed Hawkeye very much. Mm-hmm. I think you would too.
I like Hawkeye. Hawkeye is becoming one of my favorite.
And you know what? You watch Hawkeye now, you see him reckoning with what he did during that 5-year span of his family missing. Because as they implied, he was a murderous soul.
I need to know more about that 5-year span. So when they came back, because Tony gives him specific instructions. He gives specific instructions to, who does he give the instructions to? Remember when, just bring back all the people, but don't change anything. Don't change anything that's happened.
Yeah, that was Hulk, because Hulk was
that's
the one
right. Yeah, Hulk
was going to do the snap. Yeah, don't change any of the events that happened in that 5 years. Simply bring back the people that were lost 5 years ago.
You heard Peter Parker kind of talk about it. They were just like in a dream. Does that ever really get explained?
No, because I think the implication is that, for us in the non-comic book or the real world, they're dead.
Yeah.
Right? So all of those people died.
Yeah.
So without getting too spiritual, religious, whatever it may be, they were just gone.
Yeah.
For that 5 years. Now you can look at it as maybe they were on a parallel universe if you want, whatever. Easier for me to just say Thanos killed them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then they were brought back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That makes me very happy.
Great movie.
Because
I said anything offensive that you and the Town Drunk will hate me for?
No, outside of your steadfast refusal to just call it the Tesseract.
It's the Tesla rack.
Your steadfast refusal to just be able to pronounce Mjolnir. Other than that, I think pretty good. I could sit here and break down the minutia with you. Mm-hmm. On all of the nuances of the character work from all of them for a long time. I'll leave that for someone that cares. Rusty, we'll talk about that at length. Mostly because I don't want to have that conversation with you.
By the way, you and I just got a group text from the Town Drunk himself. It looks like, I'm assuming, looks like a picture that he took at a movie theater. I'm assuming he is seeing Thor.
Yeah, we were. I was supposed to be trying to go with him to see Thor today. That obviously did not happen because we have to record this nonsense every week.
Yeah,
and so he had to move up the time to go see that movie.
I was not able to make somehow. Got to pay the bills.
And you heard it a little bit ago. Our new friends over at Libsyn. Thank you for that small chunk back from the thousands of dollars we've paid you over the last 6 years.
That's right. Good old Libsyn. Our buddies.
That's right. Next week, 2019 Spider-Man Far From Home.
Hopefully, if you can get me the DVD.
I gave you.
Because I'm not signing up for...
No, you're not signing up for anything. Thursday night.
FX. I do not get that channel.
Thursday night, you're going to sit down on that couch. You're going to flip on the TV. You're going to skip past the news. You're going to skip past the weather. You're going to skip past Jeopardy. And you're going to go right to FX.
I may have to go up on the roof and put up another antenna to get that one.
You might have to go put on the Crocs and Federal Boob Instructor shirt.
Inspector
shirt. And then adjust it.
Yeah, apologies to Robert. Today we lost him, probably 15, 20 minutes ago.
Sorry, God,
Robert.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I'm glad that I got to watch that movie. I was really happy with how that one turned out.
It makes me so happy.
Chef's kiss.
It makes me so happy to have you getting caught up. I only wish you could have enjoyed this in the moment that I did 3 years ago.
Well, the fact that I am nearly in this decade. I mean, look, if you want to look at rolling decades, I've been in this decade for the last, 8 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the end is in sight.
Yes, it is. Again.
Sights are set. We need to find out how far in advance do they put out movie screen times?
The problem with that, by just going off the movie theater, it won't be until the week before.
Okay.
So maybe we get 2 weeks. So I think we'll plan a date. We'll give a time range So whether it's, we'll say late, the
I'm
first
just gonna
show
have to step
on
it
this,
up.
yeah.
You know, this might be the week that I watch more than one movie.
Here we go with this again. We'll see you in 6 weeks at the theater watching Thor: Love and Thunder.
At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you are a vehicle rapist,
please
get in touch.
We're looking for that assistance for the parade.
Not looking for anything free. Not looking for a handout. Just looking for some assistance. I would like to give the work to a dedicated listener to the Steve and Kyle podcast. So again, at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's it, right?
That's it.
That's all we got. All right. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.